You know what? Let's go to the Friday night games because I do have a best bet for the Friday night game. And I'll take it since I got the mic here. This Utah Oregon State, man, I think there's a lot of handicappers are staying away from this game
Yeah.
just because of the unknown. To me, this line opened up, if I'm not mistaken, Utah -1 based on the fact that Cam Rising was going to play. He is not going to play. With the bye coming next week, it does not make sense, at least to me, from a football standpoint. Since you've been holding him back, you're 4-0 as of right now. Your defense is playing out of its mind, which is very underrated. Which I think your defense might be a top 5 defense in the nation. Um, I believe that the freshman, was it Nate Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, is going to continue to start for Utah. I do not think Cam Rising is going to play. This line would be a little bit different if Cam Rising was going to play. Um, but Oregon State had a tough game. Shout out to the homie. He called it last week. Washington State with the outright win, not even just a point, but the outright straight up
So
win.
easy.
Uh, Um, but I think Oregon State comes home pissed off. I think Oregon State has something to prove here to get back into the picture. They're getting a Utah team. Now, I watched some of that UCLA game. Utah was in control full go, but their offense only scored 1 touchdown. The other one came from a defensive score, special teams. So playing in Oregon State is going to be tough sledding for them to win this game, in my opinion. I think this scoring is going to be low. You can see it ticking down already. It was at 44 and a half. I believe it was at 45 and a half. It is already getting back down. I do like the under, but I like the seasoned quarterback, and help me with his name, DJ. Say his last name again.
Ongole, TJ Ongole,
Ungalea. I think it's Ungalea.
Ongolele.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you
I like
need Sharp, right? Because he be having them names down.
that's true.
Um, Oregon State. I'm believing in the 6 year, 5 year, 7 year, whatever year senior quarterback he is. He's seen top defenses before being in Clemson. I don't think that this is going to be too big of a task for him. I don't like the matchup. People like the Oregon State matchup versus Utah, those who are Utah backers. But for me, I love the matchup of this Oregon State defense against this Utah offense. I don't think that Nate Johnson is going to have or be able to do too much against this team. He's only passed for more than 100. I don't think he's passed for over 200 yards. Yeah, now they face top talent. They face Florida. They face Baylor. Obviously, just facing UCLA. So that defense is legit. And I would tend to look to the under here, which I really might switch my bet. But for now, I'm buying the point. Give me Oregon State to win at home in a tough matchup, -2.5. Um, I think Oregon State pulls this out. I think they come home pissed off. I think they feel like they should have won that Washington State game because it was close in overtime. But and you face the team, don't let that Washington State team putting up 38 points fool you because that Washington State team has the best offense in the nation. So
Well,
don't let that fool you.
maybe Washington is up there. Washington with
Washington
Michael Penix
top
Jr.
3, Washington State
Yeah,
top
top.
3,
Yeah, for sure. They
top
throw it up.
3.
Yeah,
They throw it up. So, but you come into Oregon State who don't lose at home. I had to go back almost a couple years. They typically do not lose at home. I think this is a really good spot because Oregon State is going to be pissed off and going to win. I just don't think Utah has enough here offensively to score enough. I think eventually Oregon State will score, grind them out, get down to the ball, 10, 8 play drives, dink and dunk, just taking what the defense gets them. And I think eventually they'll score. But I really do, in thinking about the under here, this smells like 21-14, 17-13 type game because Utah can't score, especially not in Oregon State on their defense.
yeah. I do like that play.